Welcome to Keeping It Real with Dr. Linda Chinn. This is the podcast where real life choices meet biblical truth without the fluff. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Dr. Chinn shares faith-filled, practical insights to navigate everyday challenges. Get ready for real talk, real life, and real answers.
Good afternoon, and Happy New Year. So glad to have you here with us today. Listen, it is 2026. We have made it to 2026, and that is a blessing. And as usual, we got a great show for you today. Good information, especially for those of us multi-passionate. I call us multi-passionate entrepreneurs because we have more than one thing going on. So I remember back in the day, if you had more than one business card, you was considered scattered. Now we're called multi-passionate. So we're multi-passionate, and we got a multi-passionate coming on today to talk to Dr. Chinn to share like what does it mean to actually manage multiple businesses and how does he do it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Dr. Chinn to the stage and also Mark Ham. And listen, before we get started, there is a QR code in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. So if you're looking at the screen up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a QR code. Do me a favor, scan that code. That way you never miss an episode and you can always connect to Dr. Chinn. So now without further ado, welcome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year. All right.
God, I thank you. He made God brought us through them technological issues. Listen, that's why I know Mark and Audrey, y'all. You'll have to get to know them for yourself, seriously. So Audrey, thank you for the great introduction. And as usual, we're to come back and tap in because Mark, inevitably, she's going to have some questions or comments at the end of the show. So Audrey, thank you, my sister.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Mark Ham. Mark Ham. I call him Yoda. Your opportunity to develop another. I call him Yoda because he has helped develop me in so many areas in ministry and business and just in life. So welcome to the show, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Dr. Chinn.
Yes, sir. So thank you. I am going to just bring his bio is awesome. A lot of times when we ask people for a brief bio, they don't capture a whole lot. His captures a lot about who he is, but it is brief. But I want to get to know, I know him personally as a friend and as someone who is just very, very full of integrity and honest, and he's a big giver. But Mark Ham, for those of you who don't know him, is a dynamic entrepreneur and he's a visionary. He has 4 businesses, and I'm not sure if there's another one coming up, but I believe he's got Break a Leg Talent. He's got Fashion Mojos. He's got Pro Web Firm. He's got Team Ham Group, and he has this passion for creativity. So he's a left brain, right brain person. I don't know many of those, and the ones I do know are mostly women. But the Break a Leg Talent is his platform is dedicated to elevating actors, models, performers, and people, who are in that industry and helping them. He supports them with their digital branding and things of that nature. Now, Fashion Mojos, I think, is his newest business, but it's a growing e-commerce business. Lifestyle accessories, is known for bold designs and a strong online presence. I love that. When I tell you, go online and you'll see the variety of things that they have. And then he has Pro Web Firm, and I met him through this business and this platform where his expertise in digital strategy and offering web design, SEO, e-commerce optimization, all of that, business cards, mugs, all types of things that he can and will do with excellence. And then, of course, he's got the Team Ham Group, and that's his real estate company where they support home buyers, sellers, and people of that nature. He actually comes from a family of entrepreneurs. His dad owned a business in New York called Jerry's Shoe Service. His brother's in business with Fraternal Regalia. And so without further ado, I want to bring him on, even before I ask him a question, and say, how do you want to come out with us today, Mark? What's on your mind?
Well, when you ask me how would I like to come out, I get that visual of that guy walking into the New Year strutting.
I love it.
I just want to be as helpful and motivating to someone listening as people have been for me over the years.
See what I mean? That's who he is. That's who he is, and that's how he rolls. So one of the questions I want to ask you, what inspired you to start your own business?
Well, if I were being funny, I would say I got tired of working for the man. But in all truth, I was inspired early on. I grew up in a shoe shop. My father had us there as kids. I think I was 5 or 6 when I first started going to the shop, and my brother was already there at 8 or 9. My brother did the shoe repair, shine the shoes, soles and heels, and I was the everything else guy. Swept up, bagged up, ran errands. I was multi-purpose. Sometimes I'd run the register. But so I didn't know I was being groomed for entrepreneurship at the time. I just paid attention. I was one of those inquisitive kids. So I always, kept my eye open on what my father was doing. And I tell you, the one thing he taught me was integrity.
Yes, I can tell.
If he told you your shoes would be ready Tuesday at 2:00, at 1:50, he was dusting them off, sitting them up on the counter, having them ready for you when you walked in.
Okay. I've been doing business with you long enough. Even before you and I were doing business with my business in my ministry, I engaged your services right through another business. And the integrity part for me was huge, huge, huge. He does what he says he's going to do. So quick question now. You have 4 businesses. How on earth did you identify the market gap that your business does fulfill?
Well, I'd like to say I did a ton of research, but at the time there wasn't ChatGPT and all of that good stuff. I knew that I was always gifted computer-wise, and I knew that the beginning of the internet was onto something, and I didn't know what. And I had been around long enough to know people. My father always said in the shoe shop, you got to advertise. And at that time, it was a handshake and a business card. And so fast forward to when I was starting my business, Pro Web Firm, I knew people had to be on the web and be present and maintain that presence. So they had to have a strong web presence to even compete in business, because we were past a handshake and a business card. They would take the business card, but then they're going to go look you up on the web.
Right. That's right. And so do you have a standard business plan that you use for all your businesses?
No. I don't think business is cookie cutter. And I would love to say I wrote, policies and procedures and business plan and this and that. But the first thing that I do is treat people with respect and have integrity. That's number one. So any customer I have, I put myself in their shoes. How would I want to be treated? And so I put that foot first. And then I just try to be respectful. And most of all, I like to share my gifts and talents to help people.
Yeah. So what steps did you take to launch your first business?
Now, shout out to my Uncle Ham, who I spoke to today. He's an insurance salesman and he's retired. He would always say, let me tell you a story. So let me tell you a story. It was 2005 and I hadn't started my business yet. Me and my son were just getting settled, and I was running him back and forth to school. I was the school bus. And I had been thinking of starting my business. And so I called the church and I called a food pantry. Church never called me back, but the food pantry did. So I was at the food pantry donating my time, helping stack the shelves with canned vegetables. And the director came in one day and she said, Mark, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do here in Georgia? And we had been here a couple months, if that. And I told her my dream of starting a web design company and fixing computers. So she told me instantly, put them vegetables down, boy. Come on back here. And she took me in the back room, in the storage room, And stacked to the ceilings everywhere were computers. And she told me, fix 3 of these computers and we're going to put them in our thrift shop and sell them.
Wow.
You take the rest and you start your business with.
Really?
It brought a tear to my eye. And she said, I'm not done yet. I'm going to introduce you to a man by the name of David Allman. And he's getting ready to start a business building websites and fixing computers. And I was like, for a second, I looked at her like, how is it possible somebody else is doing the exact same thing I'm about to do at the exact same time? And I knew then it was the man upstairs, but I just kept it to myself. Now, full transparency, I didn't call David. A couple weeks went by and I'm at the food pantry still donating my time. And the director came back and said, did you talk to David? And I said, no. And this was that time of 2 weeks where I didn't push myself to reach out to people. I was at that, I don't know if I should, or if you want to say scared or whatever you want to say. She said, you know what? Come on with me. And we jumped in the car, went to a meeting, and David Allman was there. The rest is history.
So he can call him a man upstairs, but God, this is what ordered this man's steps. God himself. You can't make this stuff up. These are not coincidences. And that's why I love keeping it real, that God will order your steps, whether you realize it or not. And so that really was how can anybody say that they did it on their own and launched their business when all of these things lined up with what he was doing? I love it. So Mike, did it occur to you that you needed to close one business before you started another? What made you have the gumption to keep one business and then start another business?
I'm glad you asked that. It's a great question. I was sitting at home watching TV and I saw a show called Running Russell. And it was Russell Simmons, the mega producer, he started the group Run DMC and a whole bunch of other groups. And Russell at the time had 5 businesses and one was a nonprofit. And I would see him on his treadmill every day holding meetings through Zoom or whatever while he's exercising. And I would watch how he ran each business. And I'll be honest with you, the idea jumped in my head like, if he can do 5, I know I can do 2. So I tightened up my processes and procedures on my pro web firm, and I thought of my next idea. And my next idea was talent management. And I had been in the business for a while, some number of years, so I knew the business very well. And I went out to lunch, another story. I went out to lunch and was at IHOP, and sitting next to me was a little girl and her mom. And the mom had the girl's book, like modeling portfolio, laying on the thing. And they were going back and forth, and I overheard them talking about they had went to some thing where the little girl trying to get in modeling. And I said, excuse me, but I overheard you're trying to get your little girl in. And she said, yeah, we went to this thing and they stole our money. They stole $10,000, and it touched me. And I said, well, I'm about to start my business and you're going to be my first client and we're going to get your money back.
Wow.
So started Break a Leg Talent with Jacqueline Kennedy out of New York. And I went right to that agency or whatever you want to call it in Smyrna or Marietta or wherever they were. And I let them know who I was and how I knew the business and that this wasn't right. They were stealing people's money, promising things that not supposed to happen. And they did. They gave some of her money back, a good chunk of it. And we went on to work with her. That's how I got started.
I love it. How can you not be a person of faith when God keeps putting people right there in your path? I hope that somebody is getting this today, that he will put people right in your path in order to help you to do what you're purposed to do, what you're called to do. I love that. And, you just can't make this stuff up. So were you afraid to have more than one businesses, fearing that maybe one would fail, or how did you feel inside about having these 2 businesses?
I was never scared. I know that sounds overly confident. I was never scared because I wasn't doing it for money. I was doing it out of purpose. My purpose for the web design was to be at home and make a living and raise my son. Mm-hmm. And the purpose for the talent management was to just help that little girl. That was the start of it. Help that girl get her money back. And I knew people have a passion to be in the business. Like I used to be a long time. When I say the business, I mean the acting business, acting, modeling, singing, dancing. I know people have a passion for it. And so it was just my way of helping them. I have a passion for every business that I'm involved with, or I don't do it. I don't do it for money. Money doesn't make me go, ooh, I did something. Honestly, I could care less about the money. Of course, you need money to run your business and keep it going. But I have a deep passion. So my passion and purpose keep me motivated.
That's another Selah. That's another nugget. If you're passionate, because see, I know people, Mark, that have multiple ideas that I believe, and I know they believe could thrive and bring them great success, right? And put them in rooms with people who are of great success, but they just haven't seemed to get off the ground to get it going. So my hope is that if you're listening today and that's you, that you just go for it. Go for it. If it's your person, if it's your purpose and you've got passion, God is the same God. He did it for Mark. He can do it for you too. So what were some of the main challenges, Mark, that you faced in the initial business that helped you build the second business? Did you learn? You understand what I'm asking?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Number one was credit. So when I first started my business in 2005, February 2nd, 2005, and didn't really dawn on me that you can establish your business or LLC or incorporated or whatever you want, but a lot of people use what's called personal credit. And when your personal credit runs out, you're stuck. And I had a computer, I'm a web design business, and my computer crashed. And I knew I needed a new computer. So when I went to buy a desk, when I went to buy a new computer and a desk, they were like, well, that'll be $1,500. And I'm like, where am I getting that from? And I needed it like ASAP. So I filled out a credit application in my personal name at Dell and Staples. And the credit at Staples was $500. And the credit at Dell was, I don't know, $750, maybe, something like that. So I was able to get a new computer and a desk, but it was in my personal name. And I had been talking to people, and I won't name names. But they were saying, yeah, I'll help you with your business credit, get it set up, do your LLC, I'll do all of that. And the day that I needed it, I called. They never called me back. And Dr. Chinn, I don't know if you're motivated like I am, but when you ask for help, which you don't want to do in the first place, but when you ask for help and somebody says they're going to help you and they don't, it makes me angry. And so it makes me angry in a good way. I just went and did it myself. I figured out how to do net 30s, and I won't go too deep into it. I learned how to do net 30s and establish business credit. And so I was able to grow my next business and my existing business through business credit.
I like it. I'm going to backtrack because I have people that say, if you need me, call me. And then when I have called them, they say, well, then just do this, 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 and this, and this. That's not what I needed. So be mindful when you tell people, if you need me, call me. Be sincere. Or don't say, that's something we throw around. Let me know if you need me, anything I can do. If you're not sincere, really don't say it, because when people need you, they need you. So how did you overcome, what kind of challenges did you have with both businesses, and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
So each business had a different set of challenges. For example, you mentioned Fashion Mojos, which is an online gift shop. Fashion Mojos isn't new. Fashion Mojos was 10 years ago. I started it, and it was called Mojo's Intimates. And it was perfume, cologne, and lingerie.
Okay.
And for 10 years, it failed. Honestly, it failed. It didn't do well. It never got off the ground. I never got business credit. I never had vendors, didn't get wholesale accounts set up. It just didn't grow. And about year 10, after trying it on several web platforms, some of the platforms got hacked. They just nothing went right with it. Had one good Christmas with it, but that was about it. And it was seasonal, so it was just Christmas time. So I sat and thought, and I was helping two clients, one celebrity client, I don't want to name names, and one regular client, websites. They had e-commerce websites. One client was built on Shopify, and the celebrity client was built on Wix. And for those of you who don't know, those are really good e-commerce platforms. And so I thought to myself, I need to switch my platform to make it easy for people to use. And so I rebranded from Mojo's Intimates to fashionmojos.com, not just the name, but I expanded the product base. I went from 25, 30 products to 12,000 products and different categories, candles, calendars, air fresheners, so on and so forth, scarves, clothing,
men's shirts.
Yeah. So once I rebranded, I built my website on the Shopify platform. And because I built it on Shopify platform, it grows. It doesn't have like an end where most platforms are. It allowed me to sell on Amazon, on Walmart, on Etsy, eBay, so on and so forth, and on the website. And so taking time to analyze what I did wrong, how the market was going, what the market wanted, and rebranding was the key to turning that business around. And now it's flourishing, whereas before it was like a dead end business.
Wow. So how do you get the products for it?
Research. One nugget I'll give is on Amazon. Every product that you buy on Amazon is ranked. It tells you how many people look at that product, how often people buy it, and what the ranking is. And so I took the top 100,000 products and I narrowed it down to 1,000 of which I wanted to sell.
Wow.
And well, you don't just stop there. I also had to find wholesalers or manufacturers that would sell to me and give me business credit, because I wasn't going to buy them without credit.
Well, this is good. This is good. You're helping me even now. These are some things that we haven't really delved into, right? So I'm loving this. It's helping me, and I hope it's helping somebody else too. So when you have a challenge, whether it's the real estate, whether it's the break a leg, whether it's Fashion Mojos, whatever it is, do you have a special approach that you take to handling your problems, to solving your problems?
Yeah, I try not to react emotionally.
Okay.
I take the problem and I dissect it. I'm a problem solver, so I never feel like this problem's gonna stump me. I do research. When I say research, I'll research competitors, see what they're doing. I won't just use AI, but I will ask AI what are some suggestions they have about this problem. I'll read different community posts. I just do research in a lot of different ways and then narrow it down to what will work for my business or businesses.
I love it. I love it.
Let me say this with all transparency. What I don't do, let me tell you what I don't do. I don't go talking to a friend or someone else about what the problem is. And let me tell you why.
Please.
The one or two times I listened to what somebody else's advice was and not taking my own advice, they steered me in the wrong direction. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but when you go around in a loop, that's the wrong direction, and you come back to where you started from, or you're further back.
Yeah.
That makes me angry. But
Which motivates you.
But in a good way, yeah. It motivates me. I'm like, I would have been better off trying it myself, making a mistake and learning from it. And so I don't take other people's advice. And I'm not talking about like my father been in business 30 some years and my brother been in 35 years. I don't mean that. I just mean Mojo and Mookie and them. And I don't take barbershop advice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Scripture says in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. And I am choosy too about where I get my advice. As you know, sometimes I reach out to you.
Yes.
There's times when I've reached out to Audrey, and I'm going to reach out to Audrey again about something I need help with. But, this is what I found, just to piggyback on that. We do have to be careful about where you get advice. And this is what I've discovered. Like it or not, there are people who love you. I got your back. I'm there for you. But I have found really, 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 it is, I don't know what it is. At certain times, people just don't want to help you succeed. And
I'm sorry. I don't mean, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because you are so right.
Yeah. Deep down inside, people are not, they're not going to buy. A lot of people now, they can support you and say, oh, this is good. They'll share. They don't buy your products. They're not going to buy a ticket to your conference. They're not. And so I ask, right, where am I to market this certain thing where I know? That's why I rely on the Holy Spirit a lot of times before I go to a person. Go ahead.
Let me get me some of that. I got friends right now watching this broadcast that have never bought my products. And it's not that I'm offended or anything, or I don't expect my friends to buy. It's the friends that, oh, I got your back, I support you, that specifically don't buy from me, and they buy the same products. And family always expects to get a discount. So I don't rely my business on friends and family.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into the negativity.
Yeah. I just wish we would do better, as a people. But how do you handle competition? Like, what's important to learn about your competition? And how often do you dig into that?
That's a great question. So, for example, I went to a networking event at Gwinnett County, Gwinnett Networking Group. Mm-hmm. And it's 100 different businesses in there. And 7 or 8 of them were web designers. And they go around the room, they give you 60 seconds, you introduce yourselves. And when it got to me, I was probably the last web designer. I gave my spiel, my elevator pitch, and they then stopped, doing the announcements. And you go around and shake people's hand, talk to you, and people will bring over referrals to you. Mm-hmm. And I got 7 referrals at Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce Networking, in a room full of other web designers who had been there. It was like my first or second time there, and I still got 7 referrals. What I have learned, though, when there's other competition, it has worked in my favor. And what I mean by that is I'll go to another web designer and ask them, what do you specialize in? And they might say WordPress or whatever. I don't do WordPress that much, so I would send them the business. And they'll ask me, what do I do?
Okay.
I build e-commerce websites a lot. So that's my specialty. So they send me the e-commerce websites because they don't do that.
I like it.
So I've learned that I've gotten more work out of talking with the competition. I've gained an ally. They'll teach me things I don't know, and I teach them things that they don't know. And it's been a win-win. It's never been, I ain't helping you, you ain't helping me. It's never been that. Never.
I like it. I remember years ago when I worked for GTE Supply, which is now Verizon. Mm-hmm. And many of our competitors we would do business with. Because if we had a customer, right, who was building, a commercial building or whatever they needed, and we didn't have it, we would go to the competitor and say, listen, I throw you this business, and then they would throw it back. That's another good way, right, to develop business relationships.
Yeah.
I like that. And to know what your client is doing and what they have and what they don't have. I like it. You turn it into a positive.
Right.
So you're really not that much competitors as you are collaborators, right?
Definitely.
And
now I look for more referral partners, people that'll do something similar to what I do, but don't do the exact thing. A lot of marketing companies and we get along great. They'll have a set of clients that need branding, and they'll come to me and do logo, business cards, website, flyers, and then they do everything else. And they don't have time to do the little branding part of the picture. And so they hire our company to do, that part of it. So it works.
Right. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it works out that they'll come to me for a part, and then I'm able to send them clients that need the commercials on TV or whatever it is in the marketing, So it's kind of a hand in hand, and it's not barter. Let me start with that, because a lot of I gotta say this, Dr. Chinn, and I wrote it down. Today, people in business is too many people doing business. And what I mean by that is it's a lot of people taking shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in life, and there's definitely no shortcuts in business. You got to learn to stand on integrity and respect for people, not just the clients, but other people you're working with, like these referral partners.
All right. So now I'm going to ask you, I guess it's a kind of two-part question. So with all your different businesses, they're very different from each other. This is the question. How do you manage them? And do you have processes and procedures that you use for all of them, or are they different? How do you manage all these different businesses?
Deep breath. All right. So the web design, we'll start off with that. Number one, I know it like the back of my hand. It's a 21-year-old business. And let me just throw out the years, because that's going to help you to understand. Web design, 21 years. Talent management is year 12. Fashion Mojo is actually year 10, even though it's rebranded, and this is year 2 of the rebrand. And Team Ham Group, real estate, residential and commercial, is since COVID. So that's 5 years old. With that being said, each one has a different pull to it, a different process, and a different, I say I have a passion for all of them, but I have a different, it's like having kids. You love all your kids, but you can't always treat the kids the same way.
Yeah.
Each kid needs a different kind of love. Some are hands-on, some are more cerebral, some are you just tell them one time they got it, and some you gotta beat it into them, So that's kind of how the businesses are. I'd love to tell you that they run all by themselves and they don't need me to do anything, but that's not the process. Each one calls me to do a different action every day. So I rise to the occasion for that. And so let me break it down. Web design, that's more marketing, getting new clients, and then physically doing the work. We have a team of people who do the work. It's not just myself. We have graphic designers, web designers, coders, testers, logo designers, printers, and everybody does their part. I can do each one of those things, but I can do it faster if we're all involved. Right?
Yeah.
And then so I'm more handling the client, talking to the client day to day or week to week, keeping them up on the process, or looking at what we've done and saying, oh, you don't like this part, let's change that, finding a solution. So I'm more managing there and creating new business. On talent management, I'll meet with the talent or prospective talent once a month to bring in new talent. once you have new talent, you got to groom them and make sure that they're up to speed,
Mm-hmm.
teach them some things. And so it's more hand holding and managing the talent, and then submitting them for film, television, radio, print work. And then most of all, most importantly, is getting feedback. So they go audition. I talk to the casting director and go, well, what you think? And they'll be blunt and say, well, they didn't have it here, but we like that, or we want them, but this just wasn't the project for them, or they were just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So with that feedback, we then know how to shape and what's the word I'm looking for? Groom the talent. Moving on to Team Ham. Team Ham is a partnership with myself and my wife. We have people looking for homes, looking for commercial buildings, selling homes, rentals, and they love that a team, a black married team is working for them. They love that. And so my wife is more of the researcher part of the business, and then I'm more of the handler when it comes to negotiating. And so we both complement each other, and so we're called on both talents and gifts from the both of us, but at different times for each client, right? And then with Fashion Mojos, it's based on holiday. It's based on the hot product that's out. It's based on people are looking for clothing or purses, or I'm constantly researching to see what products are hot. I'm watching social media. I'm watching trends, and I know what jumps out, what color is hot, what style is hot, and what's not. And so I know to do vendor events and show new products and get feedback. And I know to push and advertise. So it's a kind of a juggling thing, but you learn. And a lot of this should probably be written down to share. But it's just learning your business and having a knowing a pulse, having your heart involved.
Yeah. So I like the part where you said it's just like having different children, and you manage and rear each child the way they really require what they need from you. Audrey, can you come on now? Thank you. And we're going to get Mark. We should have some of your businesses scrolling across the bottom. Fashion Mojos, and Audrey should be on with us in a second. Here she is, my beautiful friend.
Hey, Audrey.
Hey, Mark. Which one do you want to post up?
Any of them. We'll start with the oldest one, prowebfirm.com.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put them in the chat so none of them get spelled correct.
Okay, that's cool.
You. Thank you. Listen, Audrey also is a multi-talented entrepreneur who manages many businesses as well. I don't know. We had her on as a guest. She was the guest and the producer at the same time for one show. But I actually met Audrey through a networking thing that Mark was doing. So don't rule out networking. People who are listening, don't rule it out.
And it was virtual.
Your business. What's that, Audrey?
I said, and it was virtual.
Yes, that's true. I had someone say, I can't believe that you two are friends and you just first met her. Right? What was it? The year before last, I think we first laid eyes on each other. So when you do business with people who are full of integrity, that's important. I see it.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
What'd you come up with, Audrey?
Well, so Mark, Mark and I know each other. We sat on the board together, and I tell you, the thing that I've struggled with, because I am multi-passionate like most, is not knowing who I am when I'm in public. I don't know which hat to say. I don't know if I'm the president of the chamber. I don't know if I'm the host of Good Morning Gwinnett. I don't know if I'm a podcast producer. So that used to really drive me crazy because I didn't know when I was out in public, who am I? Who am I? And I really had to take some time and think about that and say, well, Audrey, which business are you pushing the most? Which one is your favorite child? And Good Morning Gwinnett was my favorite child. I do so many things. There are things that people have no clue that I do. Like all summer long, I've been writing books and publishing books from May until December for people. I think I put out 10 books for different people. And but I don't talk about that because I'm out in the public. I'm Good Morning Gwinnett. So Mark, when you're outside, who are you?
That's a great question. So I pick different events to push and advertise that specific business. So I'll go in knowing I'm promoting Pro Web Firm. I'll go to a networking event, and I got all business cards though.
Yeah.
And so while I'm talking to them, they'll go, yeah, I'm gonna need a website, but right now I'm trying to buy a commercial building. Bing. We'll get to talking about real estate. It's crazy how one business is promoting the other and they overlap. And so they'll ask me what I do, and I'm focused on that one until they hit that keyword. Once they hit the keyword, then I talk to them. I don't just talk about my own businesses. I talk about everybody's business.
Yes.
So when people meet me, they meet someone who is representing myself, but I'm promoting the people that I respect and that I'm close to. So I promote my brother's business all the time. Fun fact, I'll pull up at a light and I'll see somebody's tag there and they're Delta or Sigma or whatever. And I roll the window down, blow the horn. Hey, I see your tag. Hey, here's a flyer to my brother's Greek shop. So I'm promoting that. And when people need,
witness
podcast, I'm like, call Audrey, and that's just me. I'm a referral partner walking.
I'm a witness.
Yeah, and that's another good thing. I want to go back to the e-commerce because a lot of people want to get into e-commerce. They think they can dabble in e-commerce. I've tried to dabble. I started back in 2020 when the pandemic was out, and I had a rug company, and it started to do really well, except for my rugs got stuck in Turkey because they had to come through customs, and I was definitely afraid. Mark had orders and shut it down. So talk a little bit about that for the people who are watching, saying, "Well, I want to start an online store. What does that mean?" And I did. I started to do well, and scared me to death. I shut it down.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, first of all, scared money don't make money. That's money. First of all. Second thing is have more than one vendor, wholesaler, distributor. You got to have more than one because sometimes products will get caught up or stuck or back ordered or whatever. You got to be able to order from someone else. I'm going through that right now with one of our most popular products. The manufacturer split, and so one of the manufacturers is making one of the products and the other manufacturer making the other product, and it's the same business, same company. And it's just crazy how it can go. But when the public wants your product and it's a hot product, you got to keep it going. So I've learned to, number one, stay on top of who's making what, who's doing what. And in your case, Audrey, you just need more than one supplier, because what you don't want to do is have all your products sitting on your shelf waiting to be bought. That's how a lot of people get caught. And I'm speaking from experience. I bought candles. I bought, I don't know, $5,000 worth of candles. I done spent $10,000-$15,000 worth of credit, business credit. I'm like, I got business credit now, and I'm swiping, buying products, and then they sit for 2 years. Yeah. So I've learned, buy the right products, market them properly, and have a backup.
The last thing I close with this one is know yourself. Like, know thyself, because at the end of the day, you can't follow everybody's success and think it's going to be yours. And I've learned that the hard way. Like, you see people that are doing all these great things, and then you jump out there and try to do them, and you realize, I hate everything about that. It's not me. So know thyself, which is why I stay in my lane. Media is my lane. So that's where I have been living for the last 5 years, in this lane.
You got to know your blessing is not everybody else's blessing, and vice versa. And I learned that long time ago. I'll give you an example. I had a celebrity client, shout out to Troy Sneed. He passed away, God rest his soul. But he's a singer, gospel singer. And I used to do his website. And his wife, I would talk to her sometimes and help her. She had a nonprofit, and I'll help her with her website. And they would refer me left and right. And I remember one of his wife's friends calling me saying, yeah, I want the same treatment you gave them. And I was like, sorry, can't do it. They get a special, service that you don't get. You're just coming in. I don't know you. And so she learned real quick that you can't get everything everybody, their blessing is not your blessing. And you got to really know yourself. I agree with you, Audrey. I just took 2 weeks off just to get my mind together, get my soul together, and get back in here. And people call you all day long while you're off trying to get you to do something. I know I just need time. You got to know yourself. Amen to that.
Yep.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. And we usually give our guests the last word. So we have 2 last words. Know yourself, and your blessing may not be somebody else's blessing, may be your burden. Somebody else's blessing. Don't just jump into something. So use wisdom. Know yourself and understand that with someone else's blessing may be someone else's burden.
I got one more.
Right.
Come on.
Your net worth is based on your network. And I'm going to say it the other way. Your network is based on your net worth. And it is your net worth. That's basically saying who you know really shows what you're worth.
Yeah.
And if you're fishing in the same pond, you need to get out that pond.
I love it.
And don't be the smartest person in your group.
Well, I hope we all got something from today. I know I got some, and I kind of virtually hang out with these 2. I mean, they're brilliant people. They're both they're both very, very giving. They're very giving. They don't charge you every nickel and dime. They give you advice. They give you answers. So, Audrey, I thank you even for what you brought in at the end. And Mark, thank you so much. And we'll have you back because we have other questions from Mr. Ham. Take it away, Audrey.
Look, I hope you guys, this was a great start to 2026. Yeah. Go back, do some evaluation, check out where you are, check out where you want to go, find out who you need to be around, what rooms you need to be in, what rooms you don't need to be in, and understand this. Everybody's not going to support your dream. They just won't do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to be happy for you. And I'm like, Mark, I don't take advice from people who've never done anything. What you doing now? What you're not doing? Like you're not doing anything. You want to frown on me? Keep frowning because you're not doing anything. But that they will do that. So if you like this show, we got more coming for you in 2026. Be sure to subscribe, whether you listen to us Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Do us a favor, share it with 2 people, 2, not 1 but 2, because it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. We'll be back in 2 weeks, same place, same time. Thanks again, Mark. Thank you, Dr. Chinn, for always bringing great guests. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, y'all.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to Keeping It Real with Dr. Linda Chinn. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button and share it with a friend. Be sure to support the show by going to lindachinnministries.com. Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and tune in again in 2 weeks at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, keep the faith and keep it real.